Hello, hello, everyone. It's Father Aaron, the Dungeon Minister, and I am here with an unboxing video from the very awesome Dirty Basement Terrain. Um, if you don't know Dirty Basement Terrain, who's in the studio here, he's just coming in now, so we're going to introduce him properly. Um, if you are if you are interested in terrain building, if you are interested in um, special monster creation, like making up your own monsters and stuff. If you are interested in slightly twisted builds that involve tentacles and baby heads, if you are interested in crafts that use actual maggots in their construction, if you are interested in the slightly bizarre or a stage that might be, or a basement rather, that might be a little bit dirty, you're going to like Dirty Basement Terrain. So first of all, things first, down in the description, I did include a link over to his channel. Do check it out. Lawrence is good people, does really cool stuff, and not the usual like, oh, here's my take on dungeon tiles. And there's nothing wrong with here's my take on dungeon tiles. Dungeon tiles are versatile, they're useful. I'm sure Lawrence has made some. Um, but uh, but his take is going to be just here's my giant spider lair with skeletons trapped in the skeletons trapped in the webs and heads laying about and whatnot. Here's my giant mushroom forest with ooze and tentacles involved. See, he's in the studio. He's backstage, as it were, in the green room, but seems to be having a bit of issue with his connectivity. I'm going to add him to the stage and see what happens. Maybe he's got audio but no video. Hello there, Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you. I can't see you, but
Uh,
I.
yeah, well, trying to trying to figure it out. What's going on?
Okay. Well, meanwhile, we got your voice, which is good. How are things down in sunny Pennsylvania?
Not exactly stunning. Rainstorm.
Ah, well, maybe there's some interference
Nothing but a
that
rainstorm right here. There's no sunlight.
no sunlight. Well, we've got sun up here, although it is chillier than it was the last couple of days. We got up very, very land party vibes. Absolutely, Eric. We got very warm the last couple of days to the point where I went into the office and the air conditioner had switched on. It's like yikes. But just running through the chat. Hello, Eric. Good to see you. Vinny and Matt all in on the party, and some other folks out there too. So while you go through figuring out your visuals, I am going to grab a box. So just as a note, Lawrence doesn't do things by half measures. If he says he's sending you a box, clear floor space. Okay. Oh, so this. Good morning, Mark. This has minis in it. Uh, that's a
I am
either.
having
Oh, hello, Bob Jester.
issues.
You are well. You know what? We can hear you. Um, if you want to try leaving and coming back, that's fine. Or you can hang out just with voice. Hello, Adam. I was glad to have a daytime stream. I don't like to open these kinds of things when the boys are awake because I don't want them to see what they might be fighting. But um, I did want Lawrence to be able to be here, even if it's just his voice. And then I realized, on Saturday the boys have violin lessons, so that allows me to do a daytime, which also allows my my friends in the UK to be on. So it's great to see you. So yes, this is a truly large box. Let's see, I just gotta. Um, yeah, Lawrence, can you hear me? Is the question actually. But we'll let him sort that out. Um, Hey, you might want to try leaving and coming back. That might help. It's the standard IT answer: turn it off and turn it back on again. You know. How much did it cost to send that package? It's a big old box. Let's see. The label says $100 million. That's what it says. Okay, so he says he's over on Discord saying he's going to reboot. So he'll be back. He'll be back. So you can't hear him there. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, Adam. I could hear him. I could hear him saying that it was raining in. Well, actually, Bob Jester must have been able to hear him. He just wasn't talking, perhaps, Adam, after you came on, because Bob Jester heard him. He answered that it was raining in the Midwest, too. Yeah, well, we've got all the sun going on this morning here in Ontario. So, meanwhile, while we're waiting for Lawrence to log out, log back in, he's always in chat. While we're seeing if he can manage that, just to let you know, in case you missed it, I mentioned this in a live stream, but it was one of my late nights. I have I was all set to try a new schedule for the channel, and then Holy Week and Easter happened, and of course that's just everything goes up in the air for that. But the schedule is as follows: a recap or crafting video release on Sunday, available to my patrons either Thursday or late. Hell, in this case, it was late Friday because again I was still dealing with the fallout after Easter. But a recap video or a crafting video on a Sunday evening, afternoon, available for the patrons a couple days earlier. Tuesday, a short that is a remix of that video that just came out, so some key moment from it. Every other Wednesday evening, a crafting live stream, probably mini painting because I have a million minis and it looks like I'm going to have a million more. On every other Wednesday evening. Thursday, a short of original content, something that's just made for the short. And then Saturdays, of course, first Saturday of the month is the online BECME game for patrons. And usually the third Saturday of the month is the Nerd Council of Doom. So that's the sort of routine that I am looking to get into, and I sort of started. And so you can see there's shorts have been going up, and I've been doing the Wednesday night painting thing. Again, Holy Week disrupted that because I couldn't do it Wednesday night. I had a liturgy, so that got knocked to just 3 days ago when I finished. Well, I didn't finish. I started on those horsemen. So that's the schedule I'm looking at, and we'll see how it goes. I'm also trying to make sure I'm getting. There are things that I developed for the campaign that I realized the other day. Well, this is stupid. I don't have to remake the wheel. I could put these things up there for patrons, and it was actually Battle and Barrow which clued me into this because he puts up some of the things he develops for his campaign. He puts up on his Patreon. So I thought, you know what, that would not be that difficult. So there's something coming. If you are a patron, and because the next video is already out for patrons, if you have watched it, you'll know there's a creature that I introduce, and I'm going to put the stats up for that, stuff like that. Okay, enough yabba. Looks like Lawrence is going to be in chat rather than in studio because he's got some tech issues. So we're just going to soldier on here. I'm going to open this truly massive box from him. And I'm trusting my camera quality is not good enough for you to read his address off of this. Because if you could read his address, you'd go over to his house and then you'd clean up his basement and then he'd have to change his channel name. No, he'd just get it dirty again with more crafting. Now, as I said at the outset, pardon me. Ooh. Oh, pardon me. Okay. That's right. I'm not above fart humor. As I said at the outset, Lawrence's stuff is very cool. Hey, there he is. He's in the studio. I can add him to the stage. Hey!
Yes.
We can see you.
Hey, if they want to see my address and send me free stuff, I don't
there you go.
care.
Oh, don't say that. The internet. Oh, good heavens. Lawrence's stuff, again, his crafting stuff. This is not crafts. This is minis, but his crafting stuff is truly twisted and wonderful. I mean, you probably already know him by his giant mushrooms, which featured in one of our adventures, and they're quite cool. So, but this is not that. That is. This is. Oh, it's foam. An entire box of foam. No, packing material. That is. Oh, Lawrence, you shouldn't have, but I'm very glad you did. Okay, so there's lots of foam, which will be showing up in some build of mine, I am sure. Now, there are some small boxes in here, but I am going to... Oh. Hello, John. How are you? Oh, good heavens. Now I know what most of the weight in this was. Pop-Tarts, and not just Pop-Tarts. This is the industrial scale Pop-Tart box. Good heavens, Lawrence, this is huge. Thank you. For those who don't know why this is in there, for some reason, they have Pop-Tarts in Canada. They sell Pop-Tarts. They sell cherry or strawberry Pop-Tarts. They sell chocolate Pop-Tarts. They sell s'mores Pop-Tarts. They don't sell the the best, the brown sugar cinnamon. Yeah, I see you're frozen there. Well, here we go. They don't sell the best Pop-Tarts. And I was whinging about it online, and Lawrence started sending me on Discord. He started posting pictures of the shelves at American grocery stores just laden with brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. And now he has sent me the industrial size, the Mega Value 48 toaster pastry package. God bless you. It was a dignified freeze frame. This is worth the price of admission right there. Okay, but that's not what the main show is in here. The dog is honking at me. Hello, dog. No, don't eat the foam. The dog is honking at me, because that's what he does. All right. I did take him out just before we started this, so he ought not need to do anything. What he's really whinging about is the neighbor has someone visiting, and the visitor has dogs. The visitor has dogs, and they're out in their backyard, and Magoo can hear them, and he is going a little bananas. Okay, we have in here 3 boxes. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it was enough taunting to see the pictures. Got to hide the Pop-Tarts from the kids. I can tell you, with that box, it's going to be hard. gonna need a small shed to do it. Yeah, the dog is going crazy because the neighbors have their dogs out. So I'm going to dig in on these because that's what you're here to see. It is sweet, Michael Dale. It is sweet. So, first box, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add to stage Claricam, as per usual. And there's a one of the Order of the Stick XPS Chew toys. Oh no. XPS, get the dog sent to the kennel toys. That's what that would be. So, okay. Cool. Oh, interesting. First box choice. So, I'm going to be setting these up on the stage. The stage actually is also Battle and Barrow. When we did a adventure encounter exchange, and featured in a video. Now this is, I'm not going to be able to put all this together. I don't even know how to at the moment. I'll have to look it up. Take you out of there. There's some, I guess it's a house of some kind. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to figure it out. Well, there's all sorts of parts. Parts is parts. It looks like a dock, perhaps. Well, there is a little boat, so that supports my notion that it's a dock of some kind. Maybe a house? A wee housey? Maybe a wee housey up on posts? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but that is very cool. Thank you very much, Lawrence. I will find an excuse to go to the ocean. There's also a little guy in here who looks bow-legged enough that he might go with this. Looks like he might be a dwarf. Yep. Oh, Bob Hastings would love it. Good morning, Wheeling Dragon. Put him in his boat. There you go. Very cool. Very cool. Skate park ramp it might be for all those dwarven skater punks. That was very cool. So I think that's how that little housey goes. I think it's supposed to be. I don't know. Oh, I think there's doors. Yep, that is how it goes because there's a top to the door. And when I turned it, it set right down in. There you go. So it's a little boathouse kind of job. And then okay, so now I'm getting it. Clear these off stage. These little brackets, right? And then there are, yep, they click right down in. I'm going to regret having done that because now I probably won't be able to get them out, but I want to show you. See? It's a dock. Elves are lawful now and dwarves are chaotic. You ordered one for yourself and Timu sent you 2. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for that. That's awesome. There's 3 dock pieces, 2 short ones and 1 long. Lots of brackets, the boat, a piece of cargo. You know what that's full of. Onions. Onions. See. Each after a few bites. So there we go. Oh, these come right off. They actually pop right off, easy peasy. No worries. So that'll paint up nice. Or in box is bursting. I get that little. Where did I put the box that came in? I'm gonna put those back in there because the box has developed a back door to it, and yeah. Booze, doing pretty good, Wheeling. Doing pretty good. How are things in your world? Get back in there. Not you. Okay. I assume the dwarf went in there too. I lost track of him. Yeah, he's in there. Okay. He's going to be the harbor master. It's going to be a dwarf. His name will be Tilgren. The crate's full of Pop-Tarts +1. There you go. Pop-Tarts +1. In case you came in later, this is what the Pop-Tarts reference is about. Oh, good heavens. Okay. The box. Onion Pop-Tarts. Those are the good ones in the Honeywood campaign. They don't have brown sugar cinnamon, but they do have onion Pop-Tarts. Ooh, wow. Okay, so these are a batch of minis, and I think you said they're Reaper. I can't remember. I can tell you they're pretty awesome. So we're going to start introducing them over here on the stage. We have a magic user of some description. Little cobalt. That's very blurry, isn't it? How can I get that to? Can I put them back further? Will they focus? Focus, people. Yeah, a little kobold magic user. Ooh. Got a monk or fighter of some kind, maybe. There we are. This big brute here, we got a bugbear. Nice. Layers. Pilgrim the dwarf who became a harbor master just to avoid going on the ship. Nobody tells him he's afraid. Parsons? You met a harbor master named Well, this is the thing about being in the UK. You run into a harbor master now and then. We have another magic user, it looks like. Maybe it's next level these are. Reaper or next level, I can't remember. Hate the whole box. Mostly Reaper bones, okay. I thought you'd said that. This guy, I don't know what he is, but he looks creepy. Hi, can I borrow a smoke? Yeah. And this appears to be maybe a halfling of some sort or a wood sprite kind of character. Not quite sure. Looks pretty cool. Some next level as well. Gotcha. I think this guy's next level. I recognize him. I don't have him, but I recognize him. I think he's next level. So there's our first crop. Pretty cool stuff. I like the little kobold shaman here. I think it's a kobold. Yeah, that's a kobold. A little kobold shaman. He's quite cute. Okay, get these guys off stage for the next class to come in. The basing on them is quite nice too. They've got a good kind of gravelly basing on them. Wooden discs, which is an excellent. Like you get the wood discs from the dollar store. They make great bases. This looks like it might be a rock baboon. Might be a country western baboon. I can't tell. We've got a woman with a skull in her hands, it looks like, or a shrunken head in her hands. So maybe a magic user of some variety there. Ooh. A white, pretty nasty. Monk blades here. Well, it's no blades, so I think it's a monk. I think it is a monk. It's pretty cool. Yeah, she's going up. If she had a sword, I'd say blade singer, but her left hand is kind of doing a a blessing, a apostolic blessing. Now I know this is next level because I've got some werewolf. And here we have, this is a female dwarf who looks like she might have taken too much equipment. Might have taken too much equipment. I'm here, I'll try the feel. Absolutely, Adam. Absolutely. And this looks like an elf whom I'm going to paint up very soon because we have elf wars coming. The elves are joining the construction sand and MDF bases. Yeah, the elves are joining with the humans against the hobgoblins and orcs in my campaign. So I'm going to get that one painted up ASAP. And here we have, looks like some sort of lich or some undead warrior. Pretty cool. Decided on caramelized coffee. Very good. Yes, the hand gesture is. Well, you know what this is? I don't know if this is true in the Roman Church, but I know in Anglicans, a priest blesses full hand a bishop with the two fingers. It's one of those things that we like to do. We like to make little, things. I'll see if I can. Yeah. Yeah, they are not. My camera ain't great. I gotta tell you, my camera ain't great. That's what I should be doing. There she is. She just looks like she's taken too much equipment. She brought too much stuff with her. And the head. Yeah, it's either a skull or a shrunken head. So I think maybe what I can do Can I just pull them closer? I'll lower the camera a little bit. I got it on a tracking boom there, you know. It's on a tripod. This guy's pretty wicked looking. Hey, maybe it's just an issue of the background has so much detail. That's something for next time. Background, less detail. I'll do fewer of them at a time. How's that? Then I can get better detail on them. So speaking of which, you mentioned the monk earlier. I'm pretty sure it's a monk. So there's a bit better view of the monk. Her head's on fire. Ah! I guess she'd be a nun then. At any rate, this one, I have a version of that back when Next Level had smaller, like they were doing 28 millimeter instead of 32, or they were doing 25. I can't remember what it was, but so I've got a kind of tiny version. Ooh, he's nice. Wizard with a pretty cool staff. Pretty cool staff on that guy. Very nice. I think that's Reaper. Because if it was Next Level, I would have ordered it by now. I know this is Next Level. These rat guys, I've got a few of those. It's great to have more, though, because there will be a little army of rat men that show up. A head, definitely, for the same reason the classy necromancer goes for skeletons. Less smell, less... And there's another kobold there. He's, well, my hand is in focus. I don't know about the minis. Little kobold who's got, looks like he's got a sling going on. He's about to throw something. Here's another, I believe, Next Level here guy, and he's got not a head, but some sort of globe. Some sort of globe in his hand. Ball of magic, perhaps. Hard to say. This person here, who looks like he stepped out of Mad Max with that that top knot haircut. Let's see if I can. Yeah, she's got it going on. She's a bit of a wild child there. And another kobold. Awesome. Pretty good kobold there. Got his spear over his head, ready to go. Where there's one rat, there's 1,000. Yes, there are. That's a Next Level monk. This guy, it was show and tell. This guy brought a cow skull. He's like, look, I brought a skull. Here you go. Or a little deer skull, maybe. I like it. He's just kind of holding it up. Like, here it is. And a toad. A big old toad. With his tongue sticking out. This appears to be... Maybe it goes with the toad. This appears to be a red cap. Nasty little guy. He's got a bone in his hand. He's got a bone to pick, and he picks that one. Holy cow, Lawrence. Here is a dwarf reading from a book. Now, I'm sure it was intended to be a dwarf magic user, but as you know, in Beckme, dwarves aren't magic users, so this is a dwarven... this is a dwarven historian. There's a rune on the cover of this book, and it's the Tau. I think it's it looks like an arrow pointing up. It looks like the dwarf is too dumb to know which side of the book goes up. Oh, this way up. Anyway, I am indeed, Adam. I am indeed. Where's Ratty and Mole? With my 3D printer, I knew I was never going to get around to painting these. Good heavens. Good heavens. Yes, you be in your glory with a 3D printer. Here looks like another red cap. Good heavens. I have wanted to introduce red caps. They aren't, obviously, they're not in the standard monster manuals, but I think they're in the creature catalog. Pretty sure they're in the creature catalog. Gonna get some of these short guys out here. Here's another kobold. So I think I'm gonna be another sickle red cap, another bone red cap. A lot of these guys. See if there's anything else in that category. Here, speaking of individuals who've brought too much equipment, this kobold there has got full armor and a sword that's way too big for him. Way too big for him. I can fight. I'm not a dwarf, I'm just very short, said the magic user. She turned me into a newt, a dwarf newt. When a dwarf has taken too many blows to the head, he decides to become a historian. There you go. This, I don't know what it is, but it is, it looks like a squid, a beached squid of some sort. Pretty cool looking at any rate. And has tentacles, so, you know. He stole the sword and he's running off with it. Probably not very fast, given how big it is. Another werewolf there. And here we have, now this, I don't know what creature this is. It's just a person. It might be one of the older next levels with a smaller scale, or a halfling perhaps, but an assassin of some kind. He's got the knives, he's got the look. Let's see if I can get him in good focus. Yeah. The hood, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And this could be either animated armor or a golem of some sort, or just an extraordinarily tough, oops, sorry for the wobble, extraordinarily tough individual. And there's no face visible, but that visor. How to make goblins psychotic. Yes, the werewolf will see use. It might be an iron golem. It absolutely might. And here's the dwarf that made him, maybe. Cobbled him together. Or it's an armor fitting. And she's saying, What do you mean you want more armor? How could you have any more armor than that? Does seem this I don't know, it's interesting, and I may paint it this way. You see how the armor has that in the middle of the chest, sort of an Iron Man, I may paint that as an eyeball. That would be kind of cool. That might look kind of cool. It looks cool anyway, but that'd be kind of cool. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And I'd rather have you carry all of it. Ooh, wow. This is Wizards something. I don't know quite who, but it's a dwarf with a mighty hammer. And I like this because the hammer is big, but it's not absurd. A henchman. There you go. Ooh, I don't know this is going to read on camera. A hunchman. Oh, John. Yes, Wizard Eye. Yeah. The wizard who makes the golem casts Wizard Eye and then casts permanence on the Wizard Eye, and then is driven nuts by always seeing from chest level. I think you can kind of see the face in that. That is cool. I'd be interested to know what this was labeled as. I can use it. Here's the deal: when you get a mini, you don't have to use it to be what it says on the box, right? It could be anything you want it to be. But what that one was, I'd be interested to know what that one was originally. Here we have a bar wench. And ooh, cool. I have some of the smaller versions of this, so maybe this will be their king. Gargoyle king. Greetings, grumpy old slan. My eyes are up here. I think I've got this guy. But I've got another one now. There he is. He's here to axe you if you have considered the NDP. And well-timed, a hobgoblin, because I'm also going to need these, right? Because I've got a hobgoblin elf war. So where'd that elf go? Where did that elf go? Noodly, noodly, noodly. I'm sure it's as fascinating to watch. Here he is. An elf hobgoblin showdown. The hobgoblin looks distinctly larger. Distinctly larger. But they're both gonna get. I'm not even putting them in with the rest. I'm putting them off to the side to paint up ASAP because I'm gonna want those soon. Ooh. Now, I'm gonna say before I put this out, his face looks a little bit like WW Taunting Foes, indeed. His face looks a little bit like the what was the species in the prequels? They sounded Chinese, but it also looks a little bit like the big bad guy in the Avengers Infinity Wars. Not Voltron, that was the 5 robot lions. Thanos. Thanos' right-hand man. He has that kind of face. And he also, though, has a sort of Vegas showgirl feather display going on behind him. So he's all over the place. He's all over the place. He has a plot and he's going to hatch it. And Eric, you gave applause for that? Oh, my heavens. Yeah, he's definitely a leader hobgoblin. He's pointing, he's saying go over there. Another one of these guys who are very creepy and awesome. And another one of these guys holding what I think is, maybe it is a crystal ball, maybe it is a ball of yarn, maybe he's a lion tamer and he's got a big ball of yarn for the lion. I don't know. Another one of these honking bugbears. And probably the most disturbing disease-ridden rat you'll ever see in your life. That is a giant rat to end all giant rats right there. That right there is that is unsettling. That is unsettling, is what that is. You gotta lance the boils on that thing. Now there's some bags with very tweet. Okay, so there's a. I'm not gonna unbag it. It's a little sturge. And I'm not gonna unbag it because if I drop it, the dog will eat it. But a little sturge. And what you do with these, it comes with a little pin to stick in it. But as I've gotten these before, what I did is I actually took paperclip wire and a little base, and I took the wire down and made a little loop at the end of it and hot glued that to the base, and then stuck the sturge on the wire. And you can have different heights, like they can be flying at different heights, which really works out pretty well. Cool. Lawrence, you are awesome. There's another box too. I'm gonna put these back right now. Lawrence, this is so absolutely generous of you. Thank you so much. I'll put these back in here. My heavens, there's a lot of these guys. You think you're never gonna get to painting them all. Now I assume that usually the Reaper ones are primed. I know Next Level aren't. So I think the Reaper ones though are primed. Hope you're enjoying the backdrop there. I thought I'd add the glowing lights for ambiance. Okay, that there. Where did I put the dock box? Oh, down here. Okay. I just want to make sure I don't give the dog anything to chew on. Holy cow! Another box full of stuff. Oh, okay. Now these ones are a lighter plastic, and I don't know if this is significance to that. Lawrence, you can let me know if there's a significance to the plastic being different color. It looks like these are fresh in package here. Okay, some of these. Wow. This guy is huge. Huge, I tell you. And his shield has a face. And it is judging you. It is a judgy shield face. That doesn't really improve the focus at all when I do that, does it? Just makes it less attractive. Ooh! She looks like some sort of... Well, she looks like trouble. That's what she looks like. That looks like trouble. They're actually better about that distance, aren't they? You can kind of see them. These are Reaper. Cool. Another even bigger bugbear. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the wobble. Even bigger bugbear, Bugbear Chief. Bugbear Chief. Now this looks like a Dragonborn or something. I think. That sword is wicked looking. We don't want to get hit with that. Oh, this is cool. So this is like a. Actually, if you've seen the latest, it looks like something between a bone golem in the midst of forming, or just a bunch of skeletons all pouring at you. Which reminds me of the latest I just uploaded. It'll be public on Sunday, but the zombies all. And that one, not a Medusa. I think it's some sort of headdress that she has on. I think it's some sort of headdress she's got on, just around her head. Merely huge, barely ginormous. Avoid trouble by giving the dog something to chew on, which is considered acceptable. I don't have a dog. Oh, the dog has 1.5 million things to chew on. Right now he's got a set of keys, not metal keys. These big chew toy keys. He's got a rope ball. My wife got him some toys, and it's so ridiculous. It has a big silver sheriff's star, not silver, but a gray, sheriff's star, and it's the kind of stuff that Kong is made out of, so it's really hard for them to chew. A sheriff's star, a cactus, and a covered wagon. Like the dog is going to play cowboys, like the dog has any idea of what these things represent. It's absurd. It could be shaped like anything. Hey, Delver, how are you doing? You'd pick these up at conventions I go to in flea markets for $1 a piece? Good heavens. So that, I don't know if it's skeletons just piling. It really just looks like skeletons trampling over each other so hard that they're all kind of crumbling and falling apart. But it might be a bone golem in the process of shaping up. It'll always be a pile of shame to me, I tell you. The pile of potential. Now this is a bugbear who says, "Go that way." When the necromancer sneezes and casts a spell. Here is a lizard man. Very nice. That's a big lizard man. And here is, I don't know what he is, an ogre with a fancy hat, and a half ogre, half minotaur. Like a minotaur and an ogre had a kid. Like you can't even see his horns because he's so tall. There you go. I don't quite know, but boy, he's coming for you. And that club is wicked. Another lizard man. Awesome. He's rocking out. He's having a party. He's like, yeah, awesome. And yet another. Okay, this is the run of lizard men. Let's get that other lizard man back in here. Where did he go? Hey, Disparu. There we go. Lizard man trio there. Quite cool. An Oni demon. Okay, the Minotaur. Hello, off grid. An Oni Mogritar. I like Mogritar. I'm only a demon. That's all. Just only a demon. This looks like a gnoll. He's a gassy gnoll. Hey, the jokes are free, people. And this is hideous and awesome at the same time. Lumpy bumpy. The first thing I think of when I see this is only the I told you only the lonely can play. The first thing I think when I see this, first of all, swamp beast of some sort, but also the Vogons from the Hitchhiker's Guide movie. I mean, not identical, obviously, but a similar build. Another, it's either another. No, it's the one I took off. Okay, I thought I had another Knoll in my hand, but it's the one I took off. That guy is cool, and this guy has got at least 2 arms too many. Oh, bless you, Delver. Thank you. I don't know if $2 will get me to stop telling jokes, but I don't think 2 million would. I'm a dad. I have to joke. But thank you very much for the super. Sawgohan, yes. Sawhagen, Sawhagen, Hugenhagen, Hugenagara. I'm loving the names here. This lady who's doing some casting of some spell, of some sort. I really don't think putting my hand behind it helps. Okay, Lumpy, get off stage. Okay. I did grow up watching The Muppet Show. Ooh, this looks like... This is like a turtle with a spiky shell and a spiky club. Steve Marsh in the live stream explains how to pronounce it. I'll have to go rewatch. I don't remember. Nobody does. Nobody does. Oh, my heavens. He's big, yet he's flexible. He's doing the... This is a Yeti doing the Matrix thing, you know, going back over. I never stop with the dad jokes. No, not the poetry. That is so funny. And here we've got... So I think it's a Yeti or some similar critter. A face only a mother could love, and his mother doesn't love him. So, you know, he's sort of out of luck. She looks fearsome. Warrior. Face is there is detail on the face. It just doesn't show up very well with being white and everything. But there's great detail on there. Let's get started. We're gonna have to heat this sword up and straighten it out, because that's only good for carving melons at this point. But we'll straighten his sword out. He is a solid-looking Sawhagen. When my noble and he gets snooty, it's Sawhua Gene. He's big, yet he's flexible. This one's sort of peeking around the corner, like she's leaning out a little bit. So she's like, "Hello, hello, hi." She's peeking out. He's got a staff, probably a magic user, or is that a spear? Oh, that's a spear. That's a spear. Another sort of dragonborn looking thing, hunched over. An overpriced cooler. Yet he still buys them. This something out of a nightmare. It's got tentacles. It's got pinchers. It's got a tail. It's the worst thing ever. Sawhagen. You know, when you haven't got armor on, you have to be extra careful. That's right. If it's a spear, she probably should invest in some armor. Although maybe she just, you know, goes for light and lithe rather than. But it's a big old robe to be wearing. That's going to get in your way in combat. That must. But it looks like a spear. It doesn't look like a magic user staff. Oh, she does have. There's a chainmail skirt, at least. But you hit her in the solar plexus and she's done for. Deep Sea Illithid. The Iliad. The Ithilid in the Odyssey. Yet he persisted. Whatever it is, she's taken it on. She has brought her big block and she's going to fight with. Oh my heavens! Okay, so I think somewhere in late October, this guy will show up. That guy will show up. Mind Flayer. I thought they had legs and didn't have pinchers. Sawhan, with a nod to the Gaelic. Yes, we're all over the British Isles. Whole syllables are dropped. This looks like a dwarf with an attitude. Flag or scythe? Scythe. Pretty sure it's a scythe. Could be a flag if I painted it like red. I put it white with little St. George's cross on it, like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. Little dwarven guy. Little dwarven Valkyrie, dwarven... ooh! Bullywog with an awesome shield. Look at the face on that shield. Bullywog. Deep Sea variant, gotcha. Magoo! He's trimming the bushes in his own yard. Yeah, I know, he's in his yard. That's his yard. Another lizard man. Hi! And awesome stuff. Lawrence, this is an embarrassment of riches. Another hobgoblin archer. Did I put the other hobgoblin? I got 2 hobgoblin archers, which again, very good. Thank you, Dirty Dwarf. Thank you. I like making them. When you get a cryptic text from your best friend that says, "Watch your mail this week," no one's scared. Clever lizard wears a shield. Yeah, those hobgoblins are going straight to my paint these soon pile. And here's another, that I think is next level, an assassin who's giving himself a hug because he realizes his profession is, killing people, and he just needs a hug. Just needs a hug. So he's hugging himself. Got to go have a family thing coming up. Hey, enjoy your family thing, but don't call your family a thing. That's just leads to strife in the family. You have a good rest of your day there, Grumpy. Let's see. Deep sea ones are mostly found asleep. Got to go up and check some. Yeah, okay. Lots of debate on how to pronounce whatever that thing was. Guy who's found some treasure and is going home. Thank you very much, or going to bury it. Perhaps he looks more piratey. And it looks like a wizard or shaman of some kind who plans to stop him. Very nice. This thing is, again, highly disturbing. I don't know what it is. If I saw it in the house, I'd step on it. So I'm going to have to put it up on a shelf so I don't accidentally see it, scream, and step on it. Then the nice thing about this is that there's 2 of them. So if one wasn't gross enough, there's a second one to really, really creep you out. I'm going to say if anything gets my goat, it's Goat Warriors. Call him Billy. He's a little gruff, but tentacles! Yeah, I can't believe you let tentacles out of your house. Like, how did those not Oh, Magoo. He's doing yard work in his yard. Don't you sniff my Pop-Tarts. He's doing yard work in his own yard. He can be there. It's okay. Man, that dog. He looks bad. Oh my. We have, a rough and tough dwarf here. Axe and sword. Bob Hastings would have been in heaven with this. He'd have been in heaven with this. Maybe he's in heaven watching. I don't know that they get YouTube in heaven somehow. I don't think so. A Yeti. It's got to be a Yeti, right? Look at that mouth gaping open, ready to eat yous. So Magoo knows these minis are tasty, and you really need to give some to him. No, he's honestly, I could see out the window the neighbor trimming, and he's just going nuts. But so far, actually, the dog has been. What he really likes, those Nerf darts, those Nerf gun darts. The boys got into Nerf guns a little while ago, and they have epic battles in our yard, and I'm constantly picking them up off the ground. And if the dog finds them, he chews them. Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, the Wi-Fi in heaven is flawless. You should see some of the tentacles I'm printing. I'll bet. You were making some. Lawrence was making tentacles out of milliput or green stuff. I can't remember what it was. No, that was a Yeti. That was a Yeti. That was a Yeti. Although the hands could almost be owlbear claws. These two, a couple little spiders, they're still together. They're, pardon me, gonna mute for a second. That heaven has YouTube without the commercials every 3 minutes. Yes, yes. Now, here's an interesting question. It was Milliput green stuff mixture, so it was green stuff and Milliput put together. Do you see ads when you come to this? Because I turn off the ads for my recaps and stuff like that. I just turn them off because I don't get enough views to make it worth it, and I find them so obnoxious, but I think they still run them anyway, and I just don't get paid for it. So there you go. Screaming at his, screaming at the heavens that his fate was to be a Yeti. Look, I got a bit of a Yeti party here. This is the Yeti chieftain over here. Actually, with these poses, it looks like a Yeti dance party. Yo. Just when you first tune in. Oh, that's good. It's on when I first got on the live stream. Something about to fall on him. I think he's crying to the heavens. Why was I born Yeti? Me no get date with face like this. Why I look like this? And because the Yeti dance party needs someone to really come in and break down, he's about to do a break. It does look like a dance party. Now that I've said it, I can't unsee it. Yo, yo. Haven't seen ads yet, but it might depend on the browser settings too. I've watched live streams on other laptops and gotten those commercials. Carrion crawler? No carrion crawler. This thing came the closest. I don't know, you might be lagging a bit there because that was a while ago. It's not a carrion crawler though. It's I don't know what. Well, maybe it's their take on a carrion crawler. It's a Reaper miniature, so I'll look it up. It's disgusting. Maybe it's a carrion crawler. Their take on the carrion crawler. Get these guys out again. Dance Yeti dance. Dance Yeti dance. Looks like Bruce Lee here. And another fellow who wants to ask you a question. He wants to ask you why he has these crazy ears. It's a helmet. The lizard men are really getting good representation today. They're really getting good representation. I think what he wants to ask you is, why am I between two lizard men? Shouldn't I be running away? You carry on. Oh, Ryan. Oh, Ryan comes in with the dagger. Just carry on, my wayward son. Another awesome dwarf. Oh, Magoo, honestly. That dog. He's coonhound, part coonhound. And hey, Eric, you have a good rest of your day. And I was wrong. This is going to take more than an hour. Looks like an innkeeper there. Let's see. There. Oh, the dwarves are coming on strong in the late game here. No, late game. Yeah, late game. There's a few more left. Another one of these dragon-born guys with the wicked-looking sword, and a different pose for a spike-backed turtle. He's nasty. Oh, but he's drunk. Stand up. In the midst of all this, what looks like, what? A badger? A house cat? It's difficult to say. Difficult to say. But the bullywug is hunting him. But the bullywug's in for a surprise because the dog is here to help. But they were all of them deceived because there's an elf come to the party. Elf's going to have to go into the paint me soon pile. Wolverine, there you go. Wolverine, it's Patrick Swayze and Wolverines! If you know, you know. Where did that elf go now? Did I pack the elf away? Nuts. Never. No. The elf is there. Where are my archers? Okay, good. Not that I couldn't dig through it again and find it. It might be a Wolverine. Might be a Wolverine. Wolverines! Little, looks like a halfling or, well, like a halfling, I think. And here we have what appears to be a kobold, a very tall kobold sorcerer, and a lizardman. I'm noticing these guys are a bit on the larger side, so I may use the lizardmen because I think I tend to think of them as a bit bigger. But the kobold, I may make him something else if I paint him up. Here we have. She's here to hand out cookies and hit people with hammers, and she's all out of cookies. This guy tried the Atkins diet, and look what it's done for him. And here we have a basilisk, little crunched up basilisk. A cyclops. You know, Dirty Basement knows. That movie was the entire Reagan presidency in a movie. I mean, it really... There we go. Don't know. He looks dwarfish in stature, but in height, or in body type, but in height, he's well, I mean, depends on what the rest of the people are dressed at, or are sized at. And there's, just for good measure, there's 2 more of these awesome spiders. I have a player in my, so I ran a game. It started at the local game shop, the friendly local game shop, but it has moved out of there because there was a whole set of reasons. And we play at the parish hall, actually, or in the parish house. But I have a player in that game who is terrified of spiders, to the point that if we put a spider mini on the board, she's got to like get up. So I bring out the mini. I say, this is what you're fighting, and then I take it away and we just put something else to occupy its space. Otherwise, she can't be at the board. Saw that movie in the theater. Ozempic. Ask your doctor if Ozempic is right for you. This is very cool. Artistic posing. Hello, Lightmane. How you doing? How you doing? Another bullywug with an awesome shield, groveling at the feet of his goddess of death. All you care about is death. If you know the movie quote for that, I'll be very surprised, because I was doing a stupid voice with it. Another dwarf, it's got a sort of winged hussar thing. Where's that other one who had that? You know, like a big thing behind its head. I would think that would be terribly inconvenient in battle, but then the winged hussars had something similar. No more sickness, thank you. That I did get over it before Easter, thankfully. But then I came down with a case of Holy Week. I have been Holy Weeking and Eastering, but that's past now. This is very cool. An elven hero of some kind. Ho! Thunder, 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 thunder elves! Ho! And a shield with a peacock on it. So I'm thinking he's going to be dressed up in fancy clothes, because he's a bit of a peacock. Okay, the table's crowded, just off camera. It's a crowded. I just noticed this bullywug, his shield If you can see that, his shield is a turtle shell. His shield is a turtle shell. That's cool. Oh, look at that. Wow. This is a very small, it's a little birdie. It's a hawk. A falcon taken off from a branch. It's on a branch. It looks like it's trailing smoke, but it's not. If you see it more, well, no, maybe it's just trailing smoke. I suppose it depends how I paint it. If I paint it brown, it's a branch and it's taking off from it. If I paint it wispy gray, then it's smoke. If I paint it like fire, then it's a phoenix. Could be a phoenix. Well, I think my eldest may. There's a few themes in it that I'll wait on the other two. On Amber. Lightmane sent me. Hang on, sent me. Where is it now? Be right back. Oh, the Chronicles of Amber. It's the first of the Corwin series. Very cool. Actually, Lightmane, they were just talking about one of those books, not the whole series, over at Shadow and Son. Shadow has a Appendix N book club, and they just go through the appendix. I don't know what this is, but he's pretty cool. He's got like a skull helmet. It looks like a bullywug, actually. I think it is. Yeah, it's a bullywug with a skull helmet. It's pretty awesome. This dwarven woman might want to invest in either some armor or at least a higher neckline, because it's difficult to say which ones are her weapons in that one. Ooh, wow. This is a creepy thing. The little skull face. Little skull face and a lantern. Yeah, SUBTLE, but yes, you're right. It's not really huge. Classic wizard. Another one of those bullywugs with a skull helmet on. It looks like the wizard saying, excuse me. John, that depends if they decide they want to if they want to Yes, absolutely. Oh, look at this, a couple of giant centipedes. Again, they travel. It's the buddy system. They're on a field trip together, and they have to stick together. Actually, there's two sets of those. I won't bother putting the other one down. It's exactly the same. And now, the last two minis. We have, well, this is good. Looks like a someone with a potion. Maybe an alchemist of some kind. Pretty cool. There's a book. Could also be a magic user, because she's got a book at her waist. Could also be a cleric. There's a mace. That could be a holy book. Or maybe it's a pouch. Actually, I think it's a cleric, come to think of it. I think it's a cleric. Yeah, my boys don't really do the hirelings and henchmen thing. Partly because they don't want to pay anybody. And very useful now, a mule. I may have to paint that one up ASAP, because I just recently found a mule, another one. Oh, of course you cut the sprue off. But they're together now, and I'll keep them together. It makes them easier to find. And there's also this bag, and I don't quite know what it is. Yeah, it's a connecting sprue. I was just goofing around that they go together. So there's this, and then I'm not going to take them off the sprue right now because I don't want to lose them. A whole bunch of wavy things, which I assume go in the holes which are on that, and make some sort of wavy roper kind of thing. There's no mouth, unless the top is a bit of a mouth. Cool. Cool. I'm going to put this guy back on camera because he's really funny. Splitting up the XP. There it is. There it is. Lawrence, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so much. There is so much here. Including some things that are going to be really handy really soon. And some things that further down the line will show up. And some things like this guy, this skeleton with he's got a bag of heads. He's got a bag of bones. And he's got a sort of a leering scarecrow kind of face. I will probably, he's a skeleton as well. I'll probably paint him up just for fun because I don't think I'd use it in a game, but it's awesome. So I'll probably paint him up for fun. And but a lot of these are going to show up on the table, and the ones that don't show up on the table, I will probably give to the boys to paint up and have fun with, and they'll show up in their games. And what ends up happening, if I give them something, then I end up facing it in the game that Bob Johnny runs for me. So one way or another. This guy and his pet mule. My pet mule, Hank. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyone who's watching, do go over. I've linked his channel down below, or you can just look up Dirty Basement Terrain. Go check out Lawrence's stuff. This obviously is minis that he said he was never going to get around to painting. I think it's impossible that I will ever get around to painting all of them, but between the boys and I, we'll make a stab at it. But because there's so many. But his big thing is crafting terrain and monsters and stuff. And if you weren't here at the beginning, if you don't know him, he's the genius behind these giant mushrooms, which featured in one of our adventures. So do check out his channel. Find the link in the description. Check him out. If you're not subbed, do that because he's awesome. He is awesome. And I mean, extremely creative. As I said at the outset, it's not like, here's the 500th way to make stairs for TTRPGs. Although that's useful, don't get me wrong. Find ways to make stairs. I watched a video a while ago when I was making the keep. I found a video, and I can't remember whose video it was, on a staircase tutorial, and it was very helpful. Yes, and he just did another version of the mushrooms. And he awesome, Lightmane, awesome. And if you speaking of awesome, check out Lightmane's stuff too. He tells the story. He has a book that he's written and he narrates it. He also does videos about a card game that he plays and other stuff. Devona, female wizard. It is a wizard. It's not a spear, it's a wizard. It says on the bottom. The one that I had the question about, it says on the bottom. Look at that. Lawrence is nothing if not helpful. A jade tiger monk. It's not Bruce Lee, but it looks like Bruce Lee. But a lot of these are Duke Gerald. Hi, I'm Gerald. I'm a duke. I'm Duke Gerald. You leave that poor mule alone. I don't know why I'm from Australia, but I am. Yeah, in terms of Lawrence's channel, honestly, his stuff is, first of all, the techniques are all good. They're all solid and well tested, but also the slight twist on everything, right? Mushrooms, giant mushrooms, great. And he did some just, giant mushrooms. I'm sorry, Monster, you're gonna have to make way for the mushroom. It goes pretty well with a mushroom. He did just giant mushrooms as well, but to add mouths and tentacles, that's a whole other layer of twisted. It's awesome. and currently working on that special thing for Claricon. I don't know if I know which special thing you're talking about, but you know what? That's it. That's the thing is he always sends up a box. He's said for 2 years now. It says he's planning on the third as well. Very generously sends up a box of terrain and monsters and stuff for Claricon to be prizes for DMs to give out for auctions, etc. So not terrain. No. His monster builds are particularly good. The web golem has appeared in both the well, it was off stage. They never got to it at the game I ran at Claricon this last year, but it appeared in the campaign for my boys, and then became a prize for Ye Old Geek. Ye Old Geek won the spider web golem, took it back to merry old England. The monsters he makes are very cool. He's done crystal golems and web golems and all sorts of stuff. It's very cool. Very cool stuff. And maggot golems, like made with real maggots. If the dog found that innate, it wouldn't be as bad, I guess, except all the glue that holds them together probably would do a number on his system. So if you are coming to Claricon, look out for Lawrence's stuff there. It will be there for a silent auction. It'll be there for prizes. Someone won a house. At the last Claricon, they won a house. It was one of Lawrence's houses. And I think actually Mage's Musings in the auction bought one of the houses. And it's going to show up in his game. So that's going to be cool too. The maggot golems, they're pretty gross. Pretty gross. Comma Chameleon. Ryan comes in with another one. Wyvern and L5R. Yes, the card games he plays. Forestera's Fate. Yeah. We're somewhere in book 2. What I have to do, what happened with book 2 is I got busy and distracted, and now I have to back up and start over and listen through again. There will at least be one baby head build coming. So if you want, if you're looking for a terrain monster baby head, if you don't know what I mean, you got to watch Lawrence's channel to see the baby head builds. It's just as disturbing as it sounds, but they're very cool. They're very cool. All right. Well, Lawrence, I'm sorry your tech was fighting you today. It would have been great to have you on, but it was good to have you in the chat as well. And thank you again. Thank you again. Absolutely wonderful. And I will. I'm now going to hide these before the boys get home from violin. No, you know what? There's 48 of them in here. I'll let them have some. I mean, you gotta for the kids, right? Dance magic dance in your head. You have no regrets. No regrets. I assume you know why I sent you the Chronicles of Amber. There are echoes of the Chronicles of Amber in the in Forestera. There are echoes of ow. The box bit me. Scratch Magoo for us. Magoo, come here. I'm supposed to scratch you. I'm supposed to scratch you for the folks in chat. Here, sit. Sit. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a Magoo on camera. I did this last night, and 2 nights ago. Look at the mess that is our house. There's Magoo. There's Magoo. You're on camera, Magoozer. Hey, Goober Magoo. Oh, yeah. It's our Magoo. He's a coonhound Rottweiler mix. And he is a sweet dog. You're right. And he's got ears for years. Softest ears ever. Don't you? Don't you? Yeah, the neighbor has someone visiting who's got a couple of big Malamutes, and they're just all over the backyard going crazy. And poor Magoo is just at wit's end. He wants to go over and play with them and meet them. This Sunday, it's going to be crazy. The boys have their violin concert. I have to go down to the cathedral for confirmations and receptions. Reception is when someone has been confirmed in another tradition and they're received into the Anglican Church. So I'm going one way. my wife and the boys are going the other way, and so we're going to have to leave the dog for a long time. So he's going to a day spa. It's a place that boards dogs for day boarding, doggy daycare. And we went out to visit the place, and he went crazy running around with the other dogs. Why do I have these on? Oh, because I have the microphone. He was crazy running around with the other dogs, and he was exhausted for the rest of the day. In fact, 2 days he was exhausted. So if we were there for 15 minutes. If he spends an entire day there, he'll be asleep for the next week. Yeah. You like running with the other dogs, though, don't you? Anyway, you don't need to watch me talk to the dog. You guys have a very good rest of your day. Sub to Dirty Basement Terrain if you aren't already. It's good quality stuff, and the man knows his Pop-Tarts. Take care, everybody.